that we look down on.
Come on now.
Those very people.
That's right.
Have the answer for us to get to the next door.
Amen. Right.
A Bible study the other night, folk were talking about drunks and addicts. Well, one person got up and talked about, they used to call them Joneses in the 80s. But I told them I have something to say about drunks and addicts. What I discovered when I was growing up, some of those very people who are drunks were some of the smartest people in their classroom.
That's right.
Some of those same people that we call Joneses would talk flyers in their schools. And I used to, as a little boy, sit next to some of them. And when you listen to their English, Brother Dean, they were able to put their subject-verb agreement together properly. They were able to string along sentences properly. These were not dumb people. They were smart people. And because of one problem that they had, an alcohol problem, one problem that they had, a drug problem, everybody just dismissed them in society, when if we were to just sit by them sometimes, you would discover that they have something to offer.
That's right.
We need to be careful.
Amen.
How we treat human beings.
That's right.
One of the things folk don't know, Reverend Dean talked about checking your grandparents. In fact, he says to pinpoint it perfectly, you need to go at a minimum to your great-grandparents. Well, let me say this to you. I grew up, my older sister, her name is Lynette Ferguson. Same mommy, same daddy. My mother and my father, they were not married. So when I was born, my father was in New York, and he did not come back home for some time. And so I was born Trajean Jadorette with my mother's last name. And as I would make my way to certain services, whether in school or anything else, my sister is older than me, so I'm right behind her, and she would give her name, Lynette Ferguson, one treatment for her. And here I come behind her, Trajean Jadorette. Who are you? Where are you from? And those are appropriate questions. But sometimes it's how you deal with that person. And so we talked about crime earlier, and I'm saying this from a spiritual vantage point. As I grew up, Mama knew how folk perhaps would treat not Michael Ferguson, my older brother, not Lynette Ferguson, my older sister, but she knew some of what I perhaps would have to face with a name like Trajean Jadorette. So you know what she did? She loved all of her children the same level, but she loved them differently.
Amen.
And so my siblings would say to me, even today, out of all of us, Trajean was always the spoiled one. But that wasn't the case. I was born on her birthday. My name was Trajean Jadorette. And she knew in order for me to do what God would assign for me to do in life, I had to have confidence. I had to have a sense of self that society, if I'm not careful, would rob me out of. And so I know what it is to experience the love of God and the love that comes from a house. When you have that, that's what helps us with crime in society. Love answers a multitude of sin. God bless you and God keep you is my